Yo, big up yourselves and welcome back to the channel. Oh, welcome back. Yeah, big up yourselves, welcome back. In today's video we are wiring up a double extension, so downstairs, upstairs there's going to be a little lounge, couple of toilets. We've got an ensuite upstairs and a bathroom downstairs. Toilets I think. I don't know. Anyway, so we've got lighting to wire, we've got the fans to wire, we've got sockets to wire. It's going to be a little living area downstairs. Well, I'll say little, bigger living area downstairs. Utility on the one side, so we've got power for appliances and all that thing. And then upstairs we've got bedroom, ensuite, dressing room to wire. So it should be a good one. So I'm going to go and get the stuff in. While I do that, randa ting. We're in. So this is the living area of the downstairs. So we've got a TV on the wall, a couple of sockets that side for behind the sofa. We're going to have a 3-gang switch as we come in through the door. One's going to do spotlight in the middle, just as like a hallway sort of thing. One's going to do the living area and one is going to do the utility side. We're then going to have a switch in here for this little toilet area, which is going to be a centre light as well and a fan, so it'll be a 2-gang switch. Then over this side, this is where the utility is going to be. So we've got a couple of appliances, high level socket this side and this side. This is also going to have a switch next to it to control the outside lights, which are already wired, and there's a flex coming through for us. So we'll have a switch here, socket next to it, sockets low level for the appliances, and then one high level over there. That gets that done, and then there's another bank of spots over this side. This is where the power's coming from now, so we're going to get rid of this. We'll probably reuse this, to be fair, swap it for a Type A if it's not already. And then this will go in the mains cupboard with the rest of the stuff and get rid of that completely. So it comes in there, just feeds the old sockets and stuff, so we'll get all that disconnected. And then over here, just the other side of this wall, is where the mains comes into the building, and we can just drill through, get our cables in, sort them out after, whether we put that board up or integrate it into the existing, we don't know. So socket down there, socket down there, socket for the TV. We will pull some HD cables in as well, some Cat5, and then convert them after. Whether we get left or right, I can't remember, but I will double check. And that's it for down here. I'll go upstairs in a bit, but we're going to get all the joists drilled out now, get the cable runs in, get them dropped to where we want, and then we'll move upstairs. So go and get the drill. So I've got the drill, got the laser set up, and I've just lasered a line down the joist. So I'm going to get these drilled out now. That'll give us our routes through with all our cables. Yep. Tell me you've been drilling joists without telling me. This drill's a beast, man. Isn't it? Fly through. Gee. So now that our main runs are drilled out now, we can now go around with the boxes, lay them out, and then start slinging some cables round. So I've got my laser set up now, just magnetic to the side of that. Nice, and then it comes round, and then it's going to show us where our 450 line is. Right where I want it is where it's missing, because it's hitting one of the timbers, but you know, we move. So for this job, the walls are getting overboarded and dabbed. Overboarded? Dot and dabbed with the plasterboard, so we know there's a big enough void to just mount our boxes straight onto the wall. So what we're going to do, knock out boxes. We're just going to knock one of the knockouts out, which is where our cables are going to come down. They can be knocked out with anything, to be fair. You can knock one off with anything. So grommets in, that's just got to be fixed to the wall. So we're going to get it up to our 450, roughly, because the laser won't reach. So I'll go and get the tape just to double check. So tape measure 450 off the floor, which is there. And then we're just going to give it a quick spray with this marksman straight through. And that's going to leave little green spray paint marks on the wall. So I'm going to do that now to all the boxes and get them on. 450 boxes are now fixed where they need to be. So we've got a double there, double and a single there. The single will just be a brush plate going back off up to the telly. Now I've lasered round here now, fixed the laser to the bit of stud work there, and I've gone 1200. So I'm going to be doing 1200 to the top of the sockets, if you can see it on the wall. This one, we're now moving over to here. So we're going to have a double there, and a double and a single there. So double for the socket, single for that light switch that feeds that flex. So I'll get these marked up, and then that's down here done, boxing wise. The one that's going in this corner behind me, which is going to be for the kettle and that, I've knocked out the top and the bottom, and that's going to go, so the ring will pass straight through, and then it's going to feed the appliances under, so the low level sockets that are going to do the washing machine and dryer or whatever that is, and the fridge freezer. So I've got those knocked out, last box to go on the wall, and then we'll get some cable out. I'm going to start by feeding the lights. So I've got my 1.5 cable, I haven't got the drum roller out, I couldn't be arsed, but it's on the drum anyway. So we're going to come in, we know that the board's here, so what I'm going to do is leave a couple of meters so that we can get through. I've drilled through up behind this steel because you can't get through. I'll show you that actually. So this steel here is flush with the timbers, so they're just going to go straight over it, so there's nothing I can do there. So what I'm going to do is come up this side panel here, the boxing. I've drilled a hole up this side, and then it'll come through to our run of holes there. So I'm going to come from the board. Then from the board, I'm going to come straight down to feed this light switch here, and that's going to give us power to the bank there, the one here, and the utility there. I'm then going to come round and go to the back door switch. That'll feed that, so I'm going to permanently feed all the switches. So this one first, that one second, then I'm going to come back through to feed this little toilet here, and then from this little toilet area we're going to go back up into the ceiling, and then I've drilled down from above there, so that's in a stud wall that's going there, which is going to have a, what's that going to have, a 2-gang switch there, but I'll show you up there in a minute. But basically that's going to be our last feed, so we're going to go up, straight up into there, and then we can go off to the ensuite from there. Right, our lighting feeds are in now. These two have got to go back to the wall, so that's feed in, feed out, feed in, feed out to that switch there. It then comes across to the bathroom, which I've got feed in, feed out, and then I've just ran the switch wire through. It's just got to be clipped to the centre. That's just having a centre light and a fan. So there's a 3-cord to come down as well into the switch. That'll be that little room done. So now from here, we're going to be wiring 3 switch wires. We're going to be wiring living area, hall bit, and utility. So first thing I'm going to do is measure out roughly centre of this part here, and we're going to have a row that carries on from the front room across to the hall and then through to the utility area, so that it looks nice when you come in through the back door or looking through the window or just stood in the middle. Everything's in line, so we'll have a full row there. We'll probably have 2, 1 and then 2 in this utility. I keep calling it a dining area, in the utility here. So I've got 3 switch wires to come down, 1 on its own to the centre, 1 which is going to be feeding the spots that side, and 1 for the utility. Just like that. So switch for the living area I have marked up at the switch number 1. The one in the middle I've marked up number 2, and then the utility I've marked up number 3. So these are in now. I'll do the messing about and measuring later. I just want to get the cables in and ready. So that's 1, 2, 3. Straight down to the switch. So in that switch we'll have feed in, feed out, 1, 2, 3, 5 cables. So I've took both the knockouts out to get them in. This one for the back door, it's literally feed in, feed out, and then our black flex, which is the switch wire off to the lighting outside that was already in place. So nothing else to do there, they've just got to be clipped around. So our next thing to do is move on to the sockets. So we know that they're coming in there. We can again leave a tail just to get back. I don't know whether I'm going to be wiring a radial down here and a radial upstairs. Let's see what this board's got in here. So it's 3-way. So what I'm probably going to do is a radial for down here, radial for upstairs. There's not going to be a lot of power. The only bit that's going to be drawing the power is obviously the washing machine over there. So radial downstairs, radial upstairs, and then a lighting circuit. So I'll bounce around now. What I'm going to do is from the socket down here, this will probably be back entry straight through into the board. So I'm going to come off there, follow the 1.5 route up, and then I'm going to drill down to feed this TV, for this socket for the TV. I'm then going to go over and down to there, right the way around over to the kitchen, 1, 2, drop down, back up, socket, socket. So our last point will be here It'll literally be a big loop of this room and then done. And then we can move on to upstairs. Bash, downstairs done. Clipped all the cables round and down to where they need to be. So we've got our light switch on the wall there. I have just left the ends for now. I'll come back down in a bit and sort those out. I've pulled the legs of the ring through for that ring, the radial through for that. That other hole is for our Cat 5s that are going to go up and down to the single box there with the brush plate on. So tiles are left here. Downstairs is near enough done, apart from measuring the spots out and sorting those out. Everything else is clipped round. I've clipped down for that double socket there and just carried it on into the coil for the appliances. Cables are in for this. I've got one more cable in for the fan, but I haven't got the 3-core out the van, so I'll do that when I do upstairs. Let's go and have a look up there then. So here's where that cable came through. It's going to be into a 2-gang switch there. One side is going to be doing bedroom pendant, and the other one is going to be doing 2 spots in here in this little dressing room area. And then going to go up with the feed straight up into a pull cord just to the right of the door, which is going to do centre light in the bathroom and a extractor fan. Then sockets, fuse board was in that corner down the bottom, so I'm going to come up in the middle there to a socket there, straight up again to that socket, and then probably go over the top, back down to double on that side and a double on that side, so there'll be a bed here, and then we're going to have a double in the dressing room in that stud wall there. So that's 5 doubles up here. So here we are. That's a rendered wall. I can't get any clips in, so I'll probably put a bit of all band around them just to hold it. So cable coming in, goes off to there, comes over through the joists. I've drilled through these because they're going to be boarding the ceiling above. So straight round, goes down over to that socket, back up and across and over to there, and then back up and round and down to the last point there. This will have a fast fixing once it's plastered and that, so nice. We've then got a 2-gang switch there, one for the pendant, one for 2 spots in that dressing room, and then we've got a pull cord in the bathroom which is doing a centre light, and it will go over to an extractor fan on that wall somewhere. So that's it up here, done. Just got to measure out the spots downstairs and then have a tidy up because there's a bit of wood everywhere. The washer's on, sorry if you can hear that. Anyway, we're on to lighting now. We've got our feeds in, we've just got to bounce around for the downlights. So I've measured the centre of this, and there is a pipe. Well, there's 3 pipes right where I need to be. So what I'm going to do is just move them over a little bit to here. So we're going to have the one about here, which is going to be our number 2, which is the hallway. Then our next row, we're going to carry on in that line down here. We're going to have one around here and one just on that first bay after the steel. So we'll have 2 and 2, one in the middle, and then carry on and down into here. We're probably going to go 1, 2, 3, something like that. We might just put 2 in there, just straight down the centre in a line. Yeah, make it nice. So measurements here. We had 31 inches, which was the centre, which is there. So if we come, let's say 29 to the centre, which leaves us here, I'm going to put 2 marks now, one that side and one that side on the joists, laser it down just so we know where we're at. So that's going to be our row of spots. We're going to have one in this bay, one in that bay, one where the centre is roughly, and one in the middle over there. So let's get the cables pulled into place, and then we'll make an exact measurement for later on. So now those first 2 are in, I'm going to work out a measurement off that back wall. So we'll probably come about 2 foot in, and then run down the existing holes with the cable. So we're going to go from here now, clip across this joist over to our 2 foot away from the wall, and then straight through the joists into the last one in here. Boom. So middle spot is in there. We've got a measurement for that. We've got our first spot in this room here, goes over to there, comes round over to here where it's coiled up, and then back through and finishes there. So that's our final spot in here. I've just got the spots left to do in that back bit. I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3, or just 2 to be fair. It's only going to be a little room, so I think 2 will be fine. So I'll get those in. I did leave a loop in the cable by accident, the 2.5, so I'm just going to have to clip that up, get rid, because it's all clipped now. Sake. And then I've got a 3-core to go from the switch. I'm just going to pull it over and put it in that wall there and just clip it down for now. It can be core drilled on second fix, so that's that done. So that's everything down here and everything upstairs. We've got our radial down here, radial upstairs, one lighting circuit for all of it. There's not many lights at all really. I've got the cables to go back through to the board, which is down here. So I've just got to get these 3 down, clip it down across in that zone, and then just drill through into the little passage where the fuse board is. I've got one cable, the downstairs leg's got to go into there first and then off through the wall. Nice. And then that is it. Little tidy up and we are out of here. Everything's finished now. I've done a drawing, saved that into the notes in the phone that are with the job, and yeah, we're done. I just wanted to show you that I have tidied up to a degree. But yeah, it is. It's clean. It is. It's clean. Stop shouting at me. So yeah, another job done. Nice. Got the 2 Cat 5s into here, which we will convert into an HD lead, and the other end's just there ready to go. So everything's done. Everything's nice. Let's go. Boom, another one done. Hopefully you have enjoyed this video. I know it was fairly basic stuff, but it's another job done and another video made. So yeah, big up yourselves. Thank you everybody for watching. Big up my members. If you haven't joined and you want to join, support the channel a bit more, links in the description for that. Big up yourselves. See you later. Ta-ra.